could you just kind of address the defensive line depth? Looks like you're pretty much three deep all the way across the line, and how much concern is there about Jonathan Cooper's status?
Uh, that's kind of the trend of our room. Just Coach Johnson loves to rotate bodies just to keep the tempo of the game high and kind of keep the tempo of the game more in our control. So we are pretty much three deep at almost every position, and I feel like that's one of the aspects of our room that has helped us excel the way that we have. And as far as Coop goes, Coop will be back, soon, and it's one of those things where we're just kind of taking it day by day. He's taking it day by day, and he's the captain of the team. But most importantly, he's one of the biggest influences and leaders in our room. So it's one of those things where, until he's back and he's back in action, it's the next man up. So, guys just got to now, step up all the way across the board and, try to fill a void of him not being there probably, for I don't know when. That's one question you would have to ask, coaches. So it's not so much it's more pressure on us, but it's more of, guys just got to step up and try to, fill that void that's not there for right now.
Second row left, Bill.
Robert, Coach Jay early in camp seemed to be really happy with where Tommy Togiai was. Just what have you seen from him, and how much has he improved over these last few weeks?
Oh man, his improvement has been phenomenal. Just you can see just his understanding of the game has helped also excel his level of play. Coming in, a lot of people kind of categorize Tommy as this big body, strong guy, but I feel like this season you'll see the many different elements that comes with Tommy, and just watching how he's developed, how he's improved, and the fact that it's even better for me just because we're roommates during camp, so like I got to see it on a day-to-day basis, kind of got to check his mental on a day-to-day basis, and I'm proud of where he's come from, where he started, and I'm ready to kind of sit back, kind of watch the show and see how he blossoms this season.
How does a guy like that get it done? I think defensive tackles can be successful in different ways. People always talk about the leverage that you play with. Coach Jay said that Tommy, I think the quote he said was like wrecks defensive lines. He talked about how strong he is. Is he just the guy that does that? Is he just a strong kind of guy?
Honestly, Tommy has a little bit of everything. He does the strength and the brute is like his A game, but when you watch him this season on film, the amount of athletic ability that he has will honestly surprise me.
Yeah, BB, did you watch that game on Saturday night, Florida, Miami?
No, sir, I did not.
Well, it was pretty sloppy, especially in the second half.
I heard.
I know. But I'm just wondering, how do you guys, do you think y'all played enough football in preseason to hit the ground running without being growing pains, sloppy, etc.?
I feel like we have, but at the same time, too, it's one of those things where you can simulate practice to be as close to the game as possible, but practice is not the game. You know what I mean? Like the atmosphere, the tempo of the game, the environment as a whole sometimes can catch you off guard if you haven't been there. You know what I mean? So I feel like we've played a lot of football and we've simulated a lot of football within practice, but it's one of those things where coach always preaches when you get to the game and it gets going and adversity hits, you're always going to revert back to your training. So I feel like that's one of the things that will be like the X factor of how the game is going to look on Saturday.
What do you expect from a Lane Kiffin coach team? I mean, he's been known for his gadgets, his trying almost anything kind of approach offensively. What do you guys kind of expect?
I feel like Coach Kiffin, like he's one of the greats in college football, and he's going to have the boys ready. He has a good system. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to put his players in positions to be successful. So it's one of those things where going into this game, there is no underestimating them from top to bottom. They have the skilled players on the edges. They have the offensive line. They have the quarterback. They have the running back. They have all of the tools that they need to be an elite team. So going in, it's going to be a good game. They're going to be a good opponent, and he's going to have them ready.
Last couple questions, front row left, Doug.
Robert, have there been moments so far, or when there will be moments in the future where where Coach Day needs to get on the team, right? Give you guys get on you, push you a little bit. How is he with that? maybe compared to Urban, or how do you think he will be if there's a moment during the season where, he has to get on you?
Me personally, I feel like he's great with it. But one thing about this team as a whole right now, a lot of it, honestly, is handled by the older guys. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really have to jump on us as much. And I feel like from him all the way down to the old heads in every room and just on the team in general, I feel like we have a very good connection with Coach Day to where that if there's an issue, there's certain things that we as players will address it. There's some things where he will address it, and there's some situations where we'll all address it together. If there's an individual issue or a unit issue or just a player connection issue, those are things where we kind of all work together to kind of handle those situations. And if it's a kind of nip it in the bud early, but I don't feel like Coach Dad's going to have a problem with it. When he's got to put his foot down, he'll put his foot down.
Have you seen from when he was in charge for the 3 games last year, through the spring, through preseason camp, have you seen Coach Day just sort of like, grow into the role a little bit?
Yeah, you can see he's becoming a lot more comfortable within taking over the role. And I can personally say, being here as long as I've been here, I appreciate the way that he structured everything. Like, he has his own separate style from Coach Meyer, but at the end of the day, he's been around here long enough to where he knows how the ship works. He knows the tradition, the structure, and from that aspect, nothing has changed.
Coach Day and Coach Hafford both here were mentioning tackling really prominently as a big emphasis for this week. Has it been a big emphasis through camp in a different way than in the past, either in the vibe that they've put out there or the way how much you guys have tackled in practice?
Yeah, we've emphasized that a lot on a day-to-day basis. Even days where we're not in pads and we're not fully hidden, we're going through the mechanics of tackling, pressing the hip, taking proper pursuit angles. And I feel like that's one thing that we struggled with last season, and it put us in a bind in quite a few games. So, and tackling, that's like the meat and potatoes of the game. You know what I mean? Tackling, blocking, and protecting the ball. Like, those are like the 3 biggest elements of playing football. And I feel like we've hit on that so much this off season that I feel like our improvement of developing on tackling, not only as individuals but as a team, is going to be completely different than last season.
Great. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Jerry.
Thank you.